Hello, good morning. My name is Dr. B. My real name is Dr. Buxeda, but people had problems saying that last name, so a lot of people, started calling me Dr. B, and it stuck. And I've been Dr. B to my patients ever since. So today I'm here to talk to you about something that is very, very important. It's about a medicine called lithium. And right now, you probably know very little about lithium, and in the past, I knew very little about lithium. But it is very important, and I'm going to tell you why you need to know about lithium. So I'm going to give you first an overview. This first little talk is just going to be an overview of everything that's going to follow. You have to be a little patient. I'm going to do it a little bit by bit. But I'm going to start. I'm going to tell you right now what I'm going to do. And first is going to explain to you what is lithium. Then I'm going to be telling you about why you should be interested about lithium. And I'm going to be telling you stuff that's very important, like lithium protects your brain. Lithium has to do a lot with your feelings and your moods. And lithium protects your back and can help your back a lot. Those are all very important things. There are other things I'm going to talk about later, and they'll hook on, sort of, okay? But right now, we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to start with what is lithium. I happen to have lithium right next to me here. Very convenient. Okay, I took a capsule of lithium. This, okay, which I bought at Walmart. Lithium is a prescription medication. That means you can't go out and get lithium and take it. It has to be prescribed by your doctor, and that is very important. Lithium, I took this little capsule of lithium and opened it up so you could actually see it. This little white powder is lithium. It's lithium carbonate. That's the form here in the United States where it's sold in all the pharmacies in the United States and probably around the world, even though there are other forms. But lithium is lithium. And what is lithium? The word lithium means rock. Rock. Why? Because it is just that. It is a mineral. When you go out in nature, it is found in two ways. It's forming rocks, just these white rocks that are found all over the place. It's not even a drug, it's a mineral. And it's found all over the place, literally all over the world. In some places, more than others. Lithium also is found, and this is very important, in solution in water. So, when you go around the world and you look up at sinkholes and springs and anywhere where there's water, there's going to be lithium in there. In some places, there's more lithium than in others. So what I'm getting about to this is that this medication, lithium, is just a mineral. It's an element. It's part of nature. Nobody has to fabricate it. It is part of what God intended to be there with us when He created us. Anyway, it's all over the place. So, how did this story about lithium start? Well, human beings have been using, even without knowing what it was, lithium for thousands of years. The oldest record we have is of a Roman physician in what is now Turkey. It used to be part of Rome, the Roman Empire at that time, in what is called Ephesus. I don't know if some of you know Ephesus from the Bible, because the disciples went to preach there in Ephesus. Anyway, in Ephesus, there are these springs, alkaline springs, that are famous, very beautiful. And a lot of tourists go there. But basically, there in these springs, guess what happened? They had a lot of lithium. They didn't know it then. But people figured out that there was something about these springs. And they went there and they drank the water, and they actually bathed in the water and so on, and people got better. They didn't know what was happening, but this Roman physician realized that the water in these springs had something to do with mood, and that people who were what we call today bipolars, you know, they're very moody people, changing their moods a lot, would improve. And he wrote it down. That was, 2,200 years ago. But anyway, the same thing happens all over the world. Everywhere around the world, there are springs, here in the United States also, where lithium is found. And with years, scientists were able to actually measure lithium. So they were just talking about some springs with water that do magical things. They were able to actually measure the lithium. And here in the United States, there were many famous springs that were known to make people happy, sort of. Actually, there was one, I think it was called Happy Valley, and people would flock there because they felt better when they were there. There have been scientific studies, for instance, in Texas, and they have measured lithium levels in different parts of Texas. Then they have measured the amount of lithium in the water, and they have measured, they know the people there, how they behave. So they put together all this data together, and they said, they figured it out. Well, the more lithium was in the water, the less homicides, the less suicides, the less criminal problems, and sort of like the more happier people were. Now, this has been known for a long time, but it's just been sitting there, It was a big edge the scientists got, that there was something about lithium that had to do with how we feel and how we act. So this is just the background on what is lithium. This guy, it's a prescription medicine. Your doctor has to give it to you. And by the way, I'm going to do a little tasting. It's just like a little powder. And it is, as I say, it's almost like a salt. Not toxic at all unless you take too much of it. So this is just the introduction, okay? And I'm going to go on. We're going to go back to one at a time. Take your time, because, you've never heard this before. And it takes many times to understand it. And that's just the way it is. But it is very important. And I'm going to tell you why on our next section. Bye-bye, and see you later, alligator, in a wild crocodile.